All right, traders, how are you? How is everybody doing? If you can hear me, please type yes on the chat. I would appreciate that. And let's start. All right. Hi, how is everybody doing? Let's have a look at the chat. Thank you, Giovanni. Yeah, I just thank you for the heads up there. I just uh, sent the correct stop loss on that pound US dollar. So, MCASOL, could you please give us an update of the copy system on MT4 after last week? No, I can't. I mean, I'm not the trader behind that. So, if you want an update on that, just email support. Safe Zone. Sir, I asked you that I open an account with a cap broker. I want to know that would be a, for that also email support me. So let's have a look at what we have here, what we have going on. So, the US dollar, right? Yeah, Bitcoin is crazy. Let's start with Bitcoin. Um, pretty crazy running Bitcoin. No. Right. Pretty crazy run in Bitcoin. I'm still holding a ton of buys in Bitcoin. I bought, I actually bought this breakout on Sunday, right? This breakout right here on Sunday, and I'm still holding that trade with my stops below these lows, right? Um, the reason is because if you notice the structure in this market has been very, very good in the sense that every time that Bitcoin breaks with the highs and retests those highs, we get that impulse to the upside. So, unless we break with the 58,656 or so, or these lows right here, um, my long idea on adding here is still valid, right? Just where is the dip on Bitcoin to buy? Now, that, my friend, is a loaded question, right? Uh, let's have a look at the 4-hour chart, right? And the reason that I'm still holding on to those longs that I bought yesterday in Bitcoin. Well, I'm still holding longs from this breakout and then from this breakout, right? I added yesterday, um, the reason is because of these highs right here, right? And the 60,000 level, very, very important psychological level. So, and if you look at, well, this is the 8-hour chart actually. Let's go to the 4-hour chart, right? And if you look at what's going on here, price action wise, right? We're trading about the weekly period. We're trading about the 60,000 level. We are holding those previous broken highs, etc. So, my thesis on adding here is still very much valid. So, what I was thinking, right, earlier today was about taking profits right here around the 63,000 on the um, on the longs that I took on the Sunday. But you know, but then I saw the potential to the upside, and because I already milked a ton of profits in this move, and I'm still holding about 2K or 2.3K profits on this move. Taking a 1.3 R here really didn't make sense after all. So I'm still holding, and if I get stopped out at a loss, I'm gonna get stopped out also on this long that I took at the breakout of these highs. So basically, I will be making money anyways. No gold, no. Uh-huh. What's the GBP USD signal, please? I'm sorry, that signal is only for my VIPs. If you want that signal, there's a link below this video where you can subscribe to the VIP, and if you use the code 21 off, you get 21% off your subscription. Now let's have a look at equities because this is something that um, I think might be in play today. So the S&P 500, and I was looking at the S&P 500 and the Dow, right? But the S&P 500 and actually the Nasdaq too yield the best risk to reward ratio on a possible buy setup. So let's start with the Nasdaq, right? The market opens in about 9 minutes, so let's be quick about it. So the Nasdaq, right? The Nasdaq broke with um, these previous highs, right, around the 15,000 level, right? Very, very important psychological level. So I'm looking to buy. Well, there hasn't been any actual dips towards that level, but I'm really looking for opportunities to buy. Now, the thing about this market is that right now there's absolutely no setup to buy, right? Right here, to me, is just burning money because there's absolutely no setup and there's no edge, and because the market is about to open. And placing some buy stops above yesterday's high, well, above today's highs. Let's see if it's today's or yesterday's. Yeah, above yesterday's highs, the risk to reward ratio on that possible long, it's below a 1R. So that's what's stopping me from looking forward to a buy in the Nasdaq. Now, the S&P 500, on the other hand, right, this is the 1 hour chart. The S&P 500, let's go to the 4 hour chart because I want to show you some levels. So the S&P 500, so I have two plans here, right? I have two plans. Both of them are plans to buy, right? At the open, at the open, should price move back towards the weekly pivot and these previous broken highs, that is where I'm going to look an opportunity to buy that dip. Now, the other scenario would be buyers jumping in at the open and breaking with these highs. Now, this is I believe that scenario yields a better risk to reward, no, I'm sorry, a worse risk to reward ratio than possible dip buy towards these previous broken highs. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait to see what the open brings. And yeah, I mean, I'm not in any hurry to enter a trade at the moment. I have a plan. My plan is possible buys around the 44.30 level, and that would be the best scenario of them all. Right. Do you guys have any questions at all? More than happy to answer your question. So look at the chat. No, no questions. So let's just wait for the open. Somebody was asking about gold, right? Now, I took a buy in gold last week, right here, and then I added on a flag breakout for a possible breakout of this structure, right? Now, of course, that you can see for from this 3-day candle that didn't pan out, but I'm still looking for long opportunities in gold. Right now, I don't see a setup at all, both in gold and silver. Now, silver maybe. I mean, we might get something in silver, right? In the sense that we are retesting the previous broken highs and price actions creating kind of a bullish flag, right? So, if I see some kind of a bullish momentum, I would be more than happy to buy the break of these highs. Even though we are at the ADR highs, but I would take this as a long-term trade. Hasn't GBP USD stop loss already been hit? No, it hasn't. The stop loss was 137.13. Gold buy entry? What? No. I mean, what kind of a question is that? Right. So what are you guys looking at? Uh, the other, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get this pullback, but I'm still very much long the pound versus the yen, and the level that I'm looking for to add to my longs is around the 156 level. These highs that I just showed you, these ones right here. So, and this is the reason that I have been milking this trade. And when I say I have been milking, I mean that I have been taking profits all along. Is because, I'm expecting, well, more than I'm expecting, I want a deep pullback in this market to be able to buy. And if you look at the Japanese yen, this is FXCM's Japanese yen basket, right? If you look at price action, this is basically like the DXY for the Japanese yen. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get that pullback towards this towards May 27th lows. Um, if the Japanese yen rallies towards those lows, we are going to get this pullback. And that is going to be an amazing opportunity for buys in the pound yen. Look at the daily, right? So this is the structured breakout that I was trading or that I'm trading at the moment, right? I'm gonna go even higher to the 3-day chart, right? So basically, this was a bull flag, right, from the previous bullish impulse, and I took profits at the 151.30 or so because this was a massive level. And I mean, no one knows if that level is going to hold or that level is going to break. So I took profits. Now that price has broken with that level, what I want is a pullback towards that level to be able to buy into that weakness and get big on pound yen buys. And the reason is because of uh, the possible move to the upside towards those lows. At least, I mean, if this bullish momentum continues and the 151, the 156 level holds, we are going to see price reach the 163 level. Hey Deepak, how are you, mate? So the market is about to open in 45 seconds. So let's go back to the S&P 500. Right. So this should be the daily, and let's have a look at what the open brings. Right. Just a quick look at the DXY. The US dollar is breaking with with this continuation structure, this flag on the hourly. So we're looking at a possible um, bearish day on the DXY, which is very good for our VIP trades. So I'm going to go to the very low time frames here on the S&P 500, now the 5 minute chart or so, just to see the volume at the open. Right. So nothing at all, right? Well, sellers um, in the S&P. Let's have a look at the Dow. Same thing. Nasdaq. Wow. Some. Yeah. I'm not keen of trading the open, right? Because of the high volatility it brings. But hopefully we're going to get that dip towards that from 44.30 level, so we can buy the S&P 500 for at least a retest of September's highs. I am already a member, so is the discount code only for new members? Yeah, I mean, the discount, of course, it is only for new subscribers. DXY looking bearish. Confirmation would be to look at the 93.75 level. What's your thoughts? Now, that is the kind of questions that I love. I mean, uh, when you send just gold, US dollar, Canadian dollar. I mean, I have no idea what you're talking about, but that is a great question. So let's have a look at the DXY. Yeah, it's looking very bearish. Well, not very bearish, but it is looking bearish. So let's start with the hourly chart. Well, this 5 minute chart. Let's start with the hourly chart, right? What I'm looking at is this, right? A continuation of this bearish impulse to retest that 93.50 level at least, right? Big level, previous broken highs. So you are looking at the 93.75 level exactly. These lows would trigger a bearish continuation and would trigger this move or this flag breakout that I'm talking about. Well, right now I see the US dollar non-directional, right? Even though today has been a bearish day, um, but yeah, whilst price trades inside of this structure, to me it's non-directional, right? But yeah, it's looking bearish. So very low volume at the open. Let's have a look at equities again. You know, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I mean, I don't know. I'm really not going to buy um, the S&P 500 unless we retest this buy zone. Yeah, this is a no trade zone for me. Now, the other scenario actually could be a better scenario if sellers jump in, which I mean, the probability of that happening is very much, I'm sorry, lower than um, a bullish momentum, right? But should that happen, what I will be looking for is a retest breakout, a breakout of the 4430 retest, and here is where I would look for shorts, right? But my plan is uh, my my plan is to buy uh, this market on a retest of these previous highs. Thank you, Giovanni. Yeah, I love Hawaiian shirts. Actually, that's the only thing I wear. Okay, I'll look at Bitcoin. What I told you, right? This is what I told you. This structure is so good for deep buys at the moment. Uh, you know, prices. clearly respecting the previous broken levels, etc. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this easy deep buys in price action in a while. Ethereum. Someone talked about Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is very different, right? Um, and the reason that I chose to buy Bitcoin, right, when I started buying is because of the structure that I mean, let me show you actually on the 4 hour chart. So the setup in Bitcoin was very clear, right? And then when price reached the 48,000 level, 48,100 level, or this level right here, this is where the first short squeeze happened. I sent you guys that information. Hopefully you got in on that buy. But if you look at Ethereum, the setup was not that clear, and this market is much choppier than Bitcoin. Now, don't even start with Ripple. I'm actually going to delete this from my watch list because I don't even. Right. Let's have a look at the S&P 500 again. Okay, we're getting those sellers in. Sellers in. Right, as DXY is very bearish, can Euro USD cross 164 mark? I look sick today. Sick as in awesome or sick as in this dude has a disease. Right, so you're talking about the 11640. So basically these highs, right? Let's have a look. No, actually these highs. 160, 11640. Look, to start with, the DXY doesn't look very bearish, right? Until it breaks with at least these lows. But most importantly, the 93.75 level or these lows, right? And if that happens, yeah, it's going to trigger a sell-off, which will trigger a rally in the euro US dollar. Now, if I mean, I can't tell you if it's going to break the 160, 116.40 level or not because I mean, no one knows. No one knows. GBP USD. Right. No. Okay. Let's have a look at the pound US dollar. So, all right, let's start with the 4 hour chart on the pound versus the USD. Now, what I like about the upside in this market, right, first of all, is a short play on the US dollar. Secondly, is this retest of the previous broken highs. This is the 4 hour chart. Remember? And third, price trading inside of a pullback structure. It seems to be a flag structure, right? I do like the upside in the pound versus the US dollar, more so because of the potential of a retest of September highs, right? Now, that is a little bit of wishful thinking in the sense that this level is very, very heavy. So, even if buyers um, start jumping in very aggressively, we are going to get a ton of sellers here, and of course, short-term buyers taking profit, which uh, also brings uh, bearish pressure. But yeah, I do like the upside in the pound versus the USD. And have a look at the hourly, right? Even though price, I mean, didn't break with this structure, but I mean, this structure is no longer in play. Uh, you know, the deep buy towards these previous broken highs at at least for me, is still very much in play. Let's have a look at platinum. Hold on, let me have a look at the S&P 500. That is the one that I want to trade. I mean, this is kind of boring. There's absolutely nothing going on. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So the Dow is the only one that is really, really, I'm sorry, that is really, really selling off. Now, if the S&P 500 setup does not play out, we could look at possible buys on the Dow towards those previous broken highs, weekly pivot, etc., etc., etc. This could actually be a good deep buy on the Dow. So let's wait for that. We have to wait for that level to get hit, right? And the cool thing about this, I actually like it. The cool thing about this setup is that, uh, well, price will be retesting the previous broken highs, the weekly pivot, the ADR lows. So that means that if price hits 34,960 level or so, we are going to have this entire range for possible moves. But if price doesn't hit this level, I am not going to get involved. Right, DXY looking US dollar Mexican peso. Wow. So with the VAP team, we have this trade on. We have a short on the US dollar Mexican peso. Let me just show you, right? It's a pretty cool trade. Right, so here is my trade on the USD Mexican, right? I have 1.64 lots short on the US dollar Mexican peso. And right, the setup was an easy one, right? Raul Rodriguez Lara. We have a polka dot signal selected. I don't know. I don't know anything about crypto signals. I'm not that guy. So, uh, this setup was very, very clear, right? On Friday, by the end of, not by the end, but late uh, in the New York session, the Mexican peso started to rally against the US dollar, and it was quite. Funny to watch because at the moment the US dollar was non-directional. It was actually trading in a very tight range. So let me in a very tight range. And the US dollar, the Mexican peso started to rally against the US dollar, and it broke with a massive level. Right? It broke with a massive level. Now, from the open and during the Asian session, uh, the Mexican peso depreciated against the US dollar and came back to retest the previous broken lows, weekly pivot. And if you notice, I have a 61.8 right here, right? That is a great setup. To me, it's a high probability setup because the 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 61.8% pullback of last week's I'm sorry last day's uh, range confluences with this massive level, right? So to me this was a super high probability setup on the USD Mexican, more so because we were looking at possible US dollar weakness. So yeah, this is what we have running with the VAPs. Uh, don't chase this trade. You know, you're going to get burned. This market is extremely volatile. So don't chase it. And the cool thing about this is also this. Look at the 4-hour chart and the possibilities of a move on the USD Mexican. And this is why I love trading this market. Uh, I mean, you need to understand that I mean, when I say I love trading this market, it's not that I look at this market for trades. What I mean is that when I see good opportunity on the US dollar, this is my preferred market to play that setup on the USD because we're looking at a very strong currency against a very weak currency. Not very weak, but a weaker currency. So a big move on the USD yields massive, massive moves in this market, and sometimes you can get extremely good risk to reward setups, right? So, having said that, mates, having said that, uh, we're running with this short on the US dollar Mexican peso, right? With targets here. But if price breaks with this level, then we could be looking at a possible 2.3% move or 470 pips move to the downside. Now, no one knows what's going to happen, right? And there's a couple of big levels. But you know, this is basically a short-term trade inside of the structure. If you want to get this kind of trades, you know, the link is below this video. You just have to join. It's only 35 pounds per month, mates. I don't know about you, but I see that as a steal. Right. Let's have a look at equities again. And I mean, yeah, I knew it. uh, um, the Dow didn't reach my buy zone, and everything is pointing out at a possible breakout of this flag formation. The S&P 500 also rallying very hard, but I'm not gonna buy into it because that was not my trading plan, and I do not chase moves. So yeah, I mean, sometimes your setups or your trade ideas just don't play out, right? And when they don't play out, just don't chase the market, don't chase the moves because that is a good way to burn. Let's have a look at gold. Nothing. So someone asked about platinum. Here it is. Okay. Now, you know, I've been trying to get involved long in this market for a while, and I actually had a buy here. Let me show you. I had a buy here with my stop losses here, and I got stopped out on this week low before this market rallied from low to high about 13%. So yeah, that was a bummer. That was a bummer, but it happens. Now, hold on. Yeah. So we were looking at platinum, right? I mean, let's have a look at the question, the actual question. Does it found support at 1040? No, I mean it broke 1040, but I mean, have a look at the hourly. Have a look at the hourly right here. It's retesting the previous broken high. I don't see a setup to buy into this weakness, but uh, let's have a look at the forward chart too. Oh boy. Hold on, because this looks very good. Now, just have a look at what's going on here. Okay. Not only price is about to retest the previous broken highs, but also those previous broken highs are September. Uh, very, 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 very massive level. Now, again, I don't see a setup yet to buy into this weakness. Uh, but I'm going to hold on. I'm sorry. This is actually hot. It's a hot market because and hold on. Let me put on a note. I don't know. Possible deep buys. Right. So this is my node, and I'm only going uh, to buy into this weakness if I see a rejection of the 1030 level or so. Right now, I mean, right now this move is really, really strong, so no. All right. So my plan did not play out for buying news equities, the S&P 500. Super strong. Uh, let's have a look at the forward chart. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, we have a 2R here, possible 2R here, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not. Yeah, yeah, it wasn't my plan. This was not my trading plan, so I am not going to trade this breakout. But let me go through it, right? If you notice, not only we're talking about today's highs, right? We're talking about September 27 highs and this massive level, also these lows. So this is a very strong. That's reason number one that I wouldn't trade it with a buy stop because the probability of a fake out is high because of how massive that level is. Yeah, what I could do is just wait for price to break, retest this level, and then try to find buys. But yeah, for the time being, I don't see a setup. More so because my real buy zone was the 44.30 level. So yeah, my plan did not play out. So what else are you guys looking at? Let's have a look at the DXY. Yeah, super non-directional, right? Super, super non-directional. So, uh, unless, I mean, unless price breaks with these lows, right, we're going to keep on watching some very choppy moves in US dollar pairs, right? Uh, yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna trade. I'm not gonna trade. I'm not gonna place a trade at the moment. There's absolutely nothing, and being flat is also a position. You need to understand that. Why would you trade some, sketchy setups and low probability trades? Just to give back your hard-earned money. So, all right. So this is I'm going to end up this today's show with this, right? We or well, I am going to trade the US dollar versus the Singapore dollar, right? Now, I actually was long this market and I closed that position at break even, right? Because no, I'm sorry, because of how weak uh, the US dollar seem at the moment. Uh, but having said that, the USD Sing is setting up for a very, very nice rally if it plays out, right. Now, let's have a look at the daily first. This is the daily chart on the USD Sing, and I mean, yeah, we're bouncing off of a very, very, very massive level, right? My setup was on the hourly at the break of this structure, right? This reversal structure. Now, the previous broken lows acted as resistance as always, but right now, price is retesting and rejecting the previous broken level. Now, There is no setup to buy into this weakness, but if we look at the 50-minute chart, right? If we look at the 50-minute chart, we could actually find something. The thing about that is the 135.25 level or those highs, right? Today's highs, which are capping the upside in this market. But yeah, this could be a very nice day trade should the US dollar rally. But I don't see that happening. And my trading plans towards the US dollar are short. Yeah, Shiraz, that was my mistake, mate. The original stop loss, I mean, my stop loss was uh, I don't know, hold on. My stop loss was 137.13. It was a typo. That was my bad. I'm sorry. You know. Yeah, but we are running with this USD Mexican looking very, very good. And yeah, this is the thing, right? Um, what I do is, I focus on this kind of setups, very high probability setup, right? I mean, I don't trade 4 or 5 different markets every single day, right? To me, that is absolutely, absolutely burning money. In the long term, you're not going to make money doing that. So I'm a US dollar trader. I focus on the US dollar. I look for high probability trades. Some days I don't trade because there's none, right? I've actually been flat the US dollar for a week and a half or so because of this non-directional market. I mean non-directional price action. But wow, this is a massive move on the US dollar Mexican peso. Awesome. This is awesome. Yeah. USD Mexican peso breaking with today's lows. Yeah. And that's what I mean, this is what I'm telling you, right? I mean, no stress training, high probability setups. You don't need to trade 5, 6 times a day. You only need to trade once if if uh, a high probability setup yields, right? Um, just focus on the long term and stop trying to trade 6, 7 times a day, 7 different markets. Okay, okay. So this is what we have going on. Um, you know, I don't think. I don't know the probability of getting that pullback towards that 156 on the pound yen. I don't see that happening unless the yen really rallies. More so because the pound. The pound is bullish at the moment. I don't know if you guys. Raul, if you want to move stop losses to break even on the US dollar Mexican peso, you go ahead. You know, I can't tell you what to do. I'm sorry. But I'm not. Uh, I can't tell you what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to move stops to break even. Right. So the pound is bullish, right? Above the 137.20, and also because of Bailey's speech yesterday. Uh, I don't know if you guys heard, but he said that the Bank of England is ready to act against inflation. That means that we are going to start uh, hearing more hawkish statements out of the Bank of England about tapering down this round of QE and hiking rates, which is very bullish for the currency, right? So that's why I'm looking for buys in the pound, and that is bullish for the pound yen, and and that's why I'm telling you that uh, I mean, the probability of a deep pullback here is really, really not that good. Yeah, Alban, I'm sorry. Yeah, I will. So thank you for joining me, guys. Heads up to let's look at the equities. I mean, yeah, it didn't play out, sadly, right? But having said that, heads up uh, to that possible break retest of the 4480 level, the S&P 500, and yeah, and just have a look at Bitcoin while it's hitting all-time highs. You bought below stop loss, so the signal is still valid. Which one? Yeah, that's a massively bearish hourly candle close. All right, so thank you for joining me, guys. And if you wanna get this kind of trade, I mean, you wanna get my trades, and trade with me, high probability setups. Uh, just hit the link below this video and subscribe. Reactivated my VIP account, but not got the access. Email support, mate. I have no